Hi, I'm Peter Brusso for 101 Small Business Mastermind, and today we have with us Frank Syringa. Say good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Frank.
And we have Heather Just Create. Say good morning, Heather.
Hi, everybody.
Heather's going to be our big topic of the day. So let's get into this. I want to do a real short where in the world, so I'm going to share my screen. And this is an acid test for, of course, Frank. New Defender. Where in the world is that, Frank?
That is a capital city.
Yeah, well, let me go back. Whoops. Come back here. Yes.
Because there's a dome on the right, so it's a capital city of a state.
Yes. Look above the Defender.
Oh, St. Louis.
There you go. How hard was that?
Right, yeah, the Golden Arches.
The Golden Arches. So I just got that in, and for those that want to know where the heck this is all about, but this is my particular website for the Defenders, and we track everywhere they go. And it's kind of fun to see where your inventions show up from time to time, assuming the website will work up here. And so we've even had them up with the turtles. We go swimming with them or scuba diving with them. It's kind of crazy. Gee, everybody knows who he is, I think anyway, Michael Rooker. And it's on the set of The Dead. What do they call that? Come on, Heather.
Walking Dead?
Yes, The Walking Dead. So there you go. Times Square, cop carrying it, Times Square, 2016. All right, enough of that. So I also have, Heather is a vlogger or vlogger and has her own YouTube channel. And I want to run some video for everybody to get a good idea who you are. So if you give me a chance, I'm going to get up here and open up my the correct screen. Yep, here we go. And come over here. And let me see. I want to do this one. Well, I think it's the same one. Yeah, this is the one I want to do first. Okay, so here we go. That's you, Heather.
That is me. Ever thought about starting a YouTube channel, but you don't know how? Whether it's your business, a hobby, or a new goal, everyone has a story to share with the world, including you. So what are you waiting for? This is Zero to YouTube Hero, an online course that'll show you how to create a thriving YouTube channel from scratch, even if you've never edited a video or built an online community. I'm Heather, creator of Zero to YouTube Hero, and in April 2016, I started a YouTube channel from zero, not to be a YouTuber with millions of subscribers, but to share my story and maybe help others along the way. Through my YouTube channel, I've built a community of people from all around the world who have connected around a shared passion. You can do this too, and in this online course, I'll show you how I went from zero to YouTube Hero. Everything from how to use the YouTube platform to recording, editing, and uploading, to community building, content development, and branding. I'll walk you through the entire process of going from zero to YouTube Hero so you can share your story, spark your potential, and create a thriving community. Start creating today at zero2youtubehero.com.
How cool is that now? Of course, you did it. That's how cool that is. And I want to show another one here. And this is right off your YouTube channel, which I'll have listed in the show notes and everything. This is your, I think.
In early 2016, I came up with an idea.
Yeah.
I recognized the impact of digital media, and I saw a need for digital literacy. The digital divide is between people who understand how to interpret digital media and those who don't. Those who create digital media and those who just consume it. So I quit my job to create a movement called Share Spark Media. It's not a product or a service. This is not for me. I honestly believe that this is something that will contribute to the greater good of society. I also decided to start a vlog as a way to document my journey.
And it still scares me to death that I don't have a paycheck coming in.
I had no idea what I was in for. How do you start a business? How am I going to make money?
Buy now for $9,595. What the heck?
How would I help people that I didn't know? I had no idea what to do, but that never seemed like a reason why I shouldn't try.
There was no such thing as digital literacy 20 years ago because there wasn't really anything digital to begin with. The basis for the movement is not income, it's impact.
So try I did.
So first of all, video is huge right now. Video is definitely on the rise, and okay, hold on. So first of all, video is huge right now. So first of all, video So first of all, video is huge, right? Okay, video is definitely, what was I saying? Video is, okay, you know what, I'm gonna start the hell over. We're starting over.
Thankfully, I wasn't alone. There were so many people who helped me along the way. Every conversation, collaboration, and contribution helped me take another step forward.
Barely survived.
Oh my god.
Hey everyone, this is Heather. Yeah, like the flame.
I love Spark is a good name, but you'd have to add a word.
Spark?
That's Spark Media.
Spark Media.
Oh my gosh,
That's better.
yes. I like
Spark
that.
Media.
I like that. Oh my god.
Spark Media.
Yes.
Then the unexpected happened. What I had originally set out to do actually started happening. Thanks for this video. I'm currently in the process of starting my own business as well. You're so much more than a vlogger. You're an artist. I started to cry just hearing someone else say so many things I can relate to. Your authenticity is a gift. Thank you so much for your passion. Your spirit and your mission inspires me. Thank you for allowing us to venture into your emotional journey. This world needs positive and encouraging people like yourself. You are such a light. I just discovered you at 4 in the morning thinking about how to start my business. You are such an inspiration. Love you. Despite this, every day I battled with doubt.
You know, it's times like these I just feel so alone. There's a lot of things I want to do, but I need to save money. There's a lot of people I want to see, but I don't have time.
And when I thought it couldn't get any worse, it did.
Yesterday, April 1st, I got into my first car accident.
I felt like I had failed. And yet, all of the uncertainty, loneliness, and doubt never compared to what I know I would feel if I gave up. Regret.
Instead of thinking, what if it doesn't work? Think, what if it does?
So I went all in on me. I've just never been in this capacity to create ever in my life, and I love it.
What's up, Heather? Just create.
Today is Friday, September 8th, 2017. Less than 2 hours until all of you who have supported me on this journey watch this video either in person or online. Because you believed in me and gave me your time, I'm getting ready for a party to celebrate my progress. This could have easily been just any other ordinary Friday, but instead it's a Friday that I'll never forget. To all of you watching this, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And Heather, just create more. And don't you ever give up. I swear, if you give up, I will come to the future and I will haunt you. Seriously.
Cute. Frank, you want to say anything before I find the next one?
Wow. That was Heather. That was so relatable, and I don't care how old we are or how young they are. Everybody's been there. Everybody's been there, and the fact that you let us go with you and share with you and feel with you, and that you didn't give up, I can see why that person said you are inspiring. Keep it going, kid. Keep it going.
Thanks.
So now let's watch the next one now. I thought this was pretty darn cute.
Oh, this was yesterday.
Yeah, it's yesterday. Here you go.
10-day vlog challenge. It's gonna be fun.
I really miss having to use my skateboard to actually get somewhere. Can't really do that here in the desert. In Long Beach, everything was really close, so you can pretty much skate to anywhere in the city. So today I wanted to skate to Starbucks so that I could actually ride my board somewhere and get some work done. I'm also kicking off a 10-day Oh, now that's way too loose. I'm also going to be kicking off a 10-day upload challenge starting today. So, this will be interesting. What do you think about me doing a 10-day upload challenge, Ollie?
That was so much fun. I'm definitely going to be doing this a lot more often.
So before I head home, I wanted to answer a question that I got on my last YouTube video. This is from Charlie Catchpole. He says, "Hi Heather, I really enjoy your videos. You're an inspiration. I've jumped into uploading and have been at it just a couple weeks. If there was one singular piece of advice for someone new like myself, what would it be? Thanks so much, Charlie."
Charlie, my advice would be to have a clear answer to these two questions. What do you want your audience to get out of your channel? And what do you, as the creator, want to get out of creating your channel? I think a lot of times what happens is that people come on the platform, they try it out, and then their videos don't get watched, so they stop creating. And if I stopped creating because my videos didn't get watched, I mean, I wouldn't be where I'm at because a lot of my videos don't get watched. But that's why it has to be more than just I want to be watched. Like, why should people watch you? Why should people subscribe to your content? How do you want to make an impact on somebody, whether that's, you know, to brighten someone's day and make them laugh because you do comedy, or maybe it's to teach them something by doing tutorials. You know, you want to have like a clear idea of what you would enjoy creating content about, and then also the takeaway that a potential viewer or subscriber would get by subscribing to your content. That's hard to figure out, you know, like for me, even personally, I'm gonna park here so I don't crash as I'm skating. I didn't know off the get-go. I still don't know. I still don't really know like what my channel is about necessarily, because it's really, you know, it's about my story as an entrepreneur, and my story is still evolving. So that's the story I choose to share. You know, I'm just sharing the story as it goes. But if you do something like vlogging, or you share your personal life, and it's not niche specific and it's not really optimized for search discovery, you have to know that it's the long game for sure. I mean, I'm 2 years into this, and I just have 5,700 subscribers, so I don't mind playing the long game in terms of people watching, because I also create mostly for myself. But if you're really trying to like grow your channel overnight, it's totally possible. Maybe not overnight, but if you get real niche and you optimize all your videos and stuff like that, you can grow very, very quickly. There's still room to start a channel and go. So while I'm waiting at this intersection, just wanted to tell you why I'm doing a 10-day vlog challenge. I just needed kind of like a creative kickstart, and I haven't done a daily upload challenge in, gosh, years. So, hi. So that's what I'm gonna do today, starting today for the next 10 days. It's also gonna be a crazy 10 days, so I wanted to share that with you guys. So in the desert, everybody drives fast. It's kind of scary when you're on a skateboard and everyone's driving like 50 miles an hour. People don't skateboard in the desert recreationally, like out and about. That's like, you'll never see a skateboarder. So it's a little weird. I get nervous for the drivers that they're like, they don't see me because they don't know to look for me. Biking's really popular here. Oh, green light.
McDonald's. So that's where we're gonna go. Cause McDonald's, no shame, is good. We're also gonna take the dogs for a car ride. They love car ride. I should know what it means. Look how excited Ben is.
You ready, Ben? Go, Harley, go.
Let's go. Let's go car ride.
Woo!
Cute. All right.
10-day block.
There we go. Okie dokie. That's an introduction. Frank, you want to talk about that? Because I got a whole list of stuff to talk about.
Sorry, you froze for a second. What'd you say?
So, Frank, you want to talk?
Yeah. Let's follow up on what we talked about this morning. You take action, don't you?
Yeah, I try to. I've realized on this journey that what I'm doing does not make sense, and what I'm doing is I haven't really met anyone in person aside from going to other YouTuber conventions and stuff that is doing what I'm doing, and so I going off of our conversation, I definitely get criticized and raise eyebrows, but I'm just having so much fun doing it, and based off of the data that I see and the response that I've gotten, I mean, how could I stop? It's just, it's awesome that I'm able to make an impact on people like this. So that's what keeps me going.
Congratulations.
Heather, would you share your story? I met you a month ago or so, 3 weeks, something like that, at Frank's Misfits, Rebels, Entrepreneurs. And one thing that struck me was how you got into this, that you were a digital teacher at a school. Can you tell that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So I was kind of a digital teacher. I was in my 10th year of a marketing communications career. And at the time I was working at a private school for middle school to high school. And I was, the marketing communications manager. And because of the nature of my job, I was always running around with a camera, my phone. I was the first person to really bring the school online and start posting on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. I even did Snapchat, which at the time, 2-3 years ago was completely like, what, you're going to put the school on Snapchat? And it was just like unheard of, but the kids had so much fun. They were just so proud that their school was, communicating in this way and keeping the conversation going and making everything fun, even though school was over. So by seeing what I did, the kids started to come up to me with their questions about like, hey, I skateboard every day. I want to start making YouTube videos about skateboarding. Or, the juniors and the seniors started asking me, hey, how can I use LinkedIn to connect with college reps, to put together a portfolio? How do I get more followers on Instagram? And that's when I was like, this is so weird that they're coming to me with these questions and that there's no teacher they can go to. There's no parent that can go to because, they don't understand it themselves. So I worked together with the journalism teacher to put together a social media curriculum for a course that was going to be offered to juniors. The board of directors approved it. But I just thought, it's not fair that this content is only being presented to these students who could afford this private school tuition. Like, why not take it online where the kids are anyway? They're all on YouTube. It's just a matter of creating the content. And when I pitched the idea to the teachers and the parents, they were like, well, we have no idea what we're doing either. We would love a resource like that. And so I set off on my journey to create Share Spark Media. And the idea behind it is to share your story. When you share your story by creating new media, you spark your potential in ways that you could have not otherwise. And I started, it was, YouTube channels to tutorials. Now I have an online course. And in the process, journey from day one, sharing everything just because I genuinely find it fascinating. But I also want to show people the results of what happens when you do share your story and the potential that I talk about sparking, because it's, in this new media world, it's kind of hard to describe like the return, the reward, the ROI of what can happen when you do create new media. So that's me.
There you go. Frank, you want to jump in here?
Do you, how much have you, outside of your cell phone, your smartphone, how much have you invested in equipment to do what you're doing?
That's a good question. Outside of my cell phone, how much have I invested? Probably $50, to be perfectly just honest, because this is the camera that I use. It's just a Canon S110, and I already had it. I got this as a gift from an ex-boyfriend. I had no intention of vlogging. I didn't even know what a vlog was when I got the camera. It's so old. But what I needed was this tripod. It's the Joby Gorilla tripod. It's kind of signature for YouTubers. And so it was really the tripod, which was $50, but that's it. Like even before that, I was using my cell phone. I already have my laptop. iMovie is free. I use iMovie to edit all of my videos, which surprises people because, it's just a free software, nothing fancy.
Windows has a
One follow-up. So if I have a smartphone, I can start doing with you. I can start my vlog, daily vlog on my own.
Yes, and that's one of the things I really like to push and preach is that people already have the power, I guess, to do what I do in the palm of their hand, in the back pocket. You really don't need anything fancy. Honestly, there's the cell phones now are probably higher quality than this camera. It's that old. And I haven't needed to invest in other equipment just because, I don't need to. I don't have to. And of course, there's the other side of the spectrum. Like my boyfriend, for example, Tom, he is, video production tech nerd. So his equipment is completely just like super professional. He uses Final Cut Pro, which is, the industry software. And his look and feel of his videos are different. But to me, it's whatever tools you want to use. But every day there is a story that people can share to make an impact on someone else. The only person holding you back is yourself. Like I had no idea what I was doing on day one. You could even watch that video. It took me 2 hours to film 4 minutes of dialogue. So.
Very good. With 5.7K followers, do we have a $1 of the month club?
Oh, a what?
A $1 of the month club?
What's a $1 of the month club?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. If you created I donate $1 a month through PayPal, I get something. And if you had 5.7K followers give you $1 a month, which isn't, that's not even a tip,
Yeah. So funny that you mentioned that. And this is one of the most popular questions I get is like, how do you monetize off of YouTube? How do you make money? And all the questions with that. The platform that I plug at the very end of the Just Create More video, which is that kind of like montage of my 2 years, I plug the platform called Patreon. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, I was over there.
It allows creators, not just with video, podcast, everything, to where you could set the levels of like, if you donate $1 a month, you get an extra video every week, or you get a exclusive live stream just for you guys. And I have my Patreon set up, but I had to put it on pause because I started creating my online course, Zero to YouTube Hero, to teach people how to create thriving YouTube channels. So it's been a process for me to figure out like, what do my existing subscribers want from me? Like, what can I offer that like generates money? And like just me figuring out what entrepreneurship is. And it's really hard for me to, client work, it's like the most money now. There's Patreon, which I can do to create more content. There's the online course, which it's a full-time job to sell in itself. But yes, I do. I get the $1 of the month club. I get that.
Well,
it's set up.
the program that you've got, I was very impressed with it, all the different modules.
Mm-hmm.
You could take a sliver of a module each month and put that out, well, not only helps to educate them, but it also helps to get them used to what you're selling.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
$1 a month is a possibility. I'm sure Frank can come up with some ideas too, but I thought, wow, with that number of followers, $1 of the month, we ought to be focusing on $1 of the month to keep you on coffee.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
should demand $1 from both of us. That's what you should demand. So,
Yeah.
Frank, you want to say anything else before I?
I'm just reaching my wallet to get $1. Hold on.
Yeah, you better be getting $1.
Yeah.
Now, you know, you talk about tagging your videos. How do you push your videos out?
So to me, there's kind of two ways that your videos can be discovered on YouTube specifically. So there's through the search engine discovery, and then there's just the old school way of word of mouth, telling people in person. On YouTube, I think what people don't realize is that YouTube is a search engine.
Yes,
It's not a social. Yes, it's the second largest, and it's not a social media platform. It does get grouped in just because it is, you know, a platform.
It's educational. It's kind of an ensemble of all of that. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. So I think what people don't get, that when you upload a video to YouTube, it's, you know, the people aren't just going to come flocking in and you're just going to get thousands of watchers overnight. You do have to play this search engine optimization game and tag your videos accordingly. So what I do is I use the most powerful tool on YouTube, which is the search bar. And I just type in, you know, if I have an idea for a video, I type in what I think people would type in that's relevant to the content. And I just use those as tags.
Well, there goes back to Market Samurai, Frank. You know, if you use the Market Samurai tool, you can find exactly what they're searching for and what the competition is against that. That's one thing. Have you thought about using, I said I wasn't going to do this, but I can't stop myself sometimes. Have you thought about creating a blog over a blogger where you just copy your videos over and then put in your writing with your keywords? Well, some paragraph, don't make it look like you're just strewing a bunch of keywords together, but have you thought about doing that?
Yeah, so part of the search engine, I guess, like tactical stuff that you could do on YouTube is to use the share button. Mm-hmm. And on the share button, if you click it underneath the video, a bunch of the major platforms will pop up, and Blogspot's on there, Tumblr's on there, you know, StumbleUpon, Dig, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. I share to everything, and I do exactly what you do. I just copy and paste the video description, the tags, and a link to the video, just because, you know, that's more signals for Google. It's more signals for YouTube.
Yeah, Google doesn't spider a lot of those things, but Google, you know who owns Blogger, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Google.
Yeah.
That's where they look for content right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you've heard about don't do duplicate content.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't be copying your description and pushing it everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
yeah.
That's a pain in the you know, but they do it for purpose, on purpose for that. But and Frank, why don't you talk about, you know, the app that Phil talked about briefly?
That who talked about?
Phil, about, you know, how the duplicate content.
Oh yeah, there's a there's an app I had that I'm using in doing the book thing. It's called Grammarly. Are you familiar?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I said, oh, great. You know, Microsoft does the worst spell check. Why do I need Grammarly? Well, when you're writing a book, you better get something like Grammarly, because I do a lot of research and I copy ideas from articles and that kind of thing. And Grammarly on the Pro version has a plagiarism button that you click, and it takes what you just wrote and goes up against 2 billion web pages, supposedly. and says, "Oh, Frank, looks like you got this whole section from this article." And son of a gun, they're right. Son of a gun. I said, "How do you know that?" Anyway, so they said, "You're going to get caught." So I go and I rewrite it and do it and everything, and it says still not right. Anyway, it allows you to use what other people wrote in your own format, in your own version of it, and it's really a quite an important feature if you're going to write a book.
Yeah, I've heard of Grammarly. I just haven't I haven't actually used it myself, but
well, there's a free section which has everything except plagiarism.
Mm.
You know, that
Which
you
is
got
like the most important thing. Hello, you know, but yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, that I find. In fact, I use it now even when I'm writing emails. I say, okay, Grammarly, check it. Yeah. Oh, again, for not for plagiarism, but for spell check and everything else. It goes much deeper than Microsoft does.
Yeah.
The other one that I've used for years is Spin Rewriter, which, you know, you say you write an article, and you take that and you put it in Spin Rewriter, and you see how unique it is against everybody else. So if it says you can have 1,000 copies of this at a 99% uniqueness, stop, you're done. Otherwise, you can go in and rewrite the whole thing, and it gives you options of this, use this one, not that one, use this. It's a little laborious, but if you do market or article marketing, it's the primary tool for article marketing, which is a similar thing. All right. You don't use HootSuite at all?
I do.
Okay.
For my clients, I use HootSuite.
Okay, but not for yourself?
You know, I just get too many ideas on the daily that for me to schedule out is like, you know, Friday, and I'm like, oh, I already scheduled something, but I got a new thought in my head that I kind of want to talk about. So I don't do it for me, but I do it for my clients.
Okay.
Today we live in a social world, and somewhere out there is your next customer. But how to reach them? Engaging across all your social media channels can quickly become overwhelming. But with HootSuite, the world's most popular social media platform, you'll have a tool designed to make your social activity manageable, measurable, and productive. HootSuite organizes your social accounts into a single customizable dashboard, integrating with the networks and applications you use every day. You'll save time with scheduled messaging, keyword search streams, and powerful analytics so you can identify the opportunities that matter most to your business. But HootSuite is more than just a tool. We'll help you get smart about social with industry-leading training and resources to make you an expert. And as you and your business grow, we'll grow with you, providing scalability, security, and support, whether you're a team of 2 or 2,000. Let HootSuite be your social media partner and see what your business can do in a social world. Sign up for HootSuite today.
I noticed that you had a lot of doing my homework. I noticed that there's an awful lot, there's a plethora of free courses on having your own YouTube channel. That's your competition, so to speak. So as Frank always says, don't do what they do, be different, right? So what makes Heather's course different as opposed to me just going and taking a bunch of free stuff?
Two things. I think from my research, most of the courses that I've seen of people teaching you how to do YouTube channels is specifically about how to make money off of a YouTube channel, which I know that's a big goal for everybody. But for mine, that's not the main key point I convey, because I myself, yes, it is my main source of income, but that, you know, that's not like the main thing that I'm getting out of it. That's not the main reward. So I don't want to, like, if you want to, you know, make money off of YouTube, there's definitely, I mean, I took Video Ranking Academy. That was like $400. So, very detailed monetization strategies. For me though, I want to show people how to share their story as authentically as possible. And I think what I do that other courses don't is that I'm actually doing that. So you'll go to someone, you know, another YouTube teacher, and you'll go to their channel and it's just a bunch of tutorials. And that's great. You know, obviously they're giving out their free content. They're previewing, you know, the paid content and stuff like that. But I'm very proud of the fact that you can go to my channel and you could see me crying. You could see me struggling with this issue. You could see me trying to figure out YouTube, even though I have a course on how to teach you how to do YouTube. But, you know, I'm just super genuine and authentic, and just, you know, telling everyone, hey, YouTube's still evolving. This is the new feature they came out with today, and here's how I think it's going to, you know, make an impact on everybody. And I've just found that it's those, you know, like you just showed my daily vlog that I did yesterday. Like that video didn't exist the day before. And I love that that is a real practical example of like, you know, this is what I hope to teach you to do. You might be, you know, completely different age, on the other side of the world, whatever, but I believe that everyone has a genuine story to share wherever they're sitting. And sometimes it's hard to talk about, but that's the stuff that people gravitate to, because someone else is struggling with what you're struggling with. And that's what you know, I'm still working on the verbiage on like how to, you know, that 30-second elevator speech, because share your story, spark your potential is just like, oh, that sounds really nice and like, you know, rainbows and stuff. But compared to like, hey, I'm going to teach you how to make thousands of dollars on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, well, that all changes. That's one of the big things too recently, is they changed the way monetization is, and it's really messed up a lot of people. You know,
it did.
And there's part of the $1 of the month club. What's changed? What's changed that you need to know about on YouTube?
Yeah. The whole YouTube partner program, that whole thing caused such an uproar, but I'm so glad that they did it, because to me, it weeded out the creators that are there for the wrong reasons. The people who are just, you know, literally downloading other people's content and uploading that. Yeah,
scamming it. Yeah. Plagiarism on video.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Frank, you want to weigh in?
Yeah, one thought. As I was listening to Heather and watching her videos and hearing about these, to use your term, Peter, the plethora of free YouTube, how do YouTube videos. And here's the analogy I got. You know, if you want to become just another vlogger, another YouTube person, there's a number of awesome free courses, and you're going to learn and sound and look just like everybody else. You'll be one of many. You'll be good, but you'll be one of many. You'll be a commodity. I don't teach that. I teach what I live. I teach you how to use YouTube to promote you, and only you. There's no one else in the world like you. There are people who are looking for someone like you that they can connect with, because they share what you share. They hurt what you hurt. They exhilarate what you exhilarate. And they're coming looking for you. My course teaches you how to attract people looking for someone just like you.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's what I try to convey, because even, you know, I have a friend, his channel is called James Lee, but he started his channel shortly after I did. And I worked with him to figure out the whole YouTube thing. But the reason why he started his channel in the first place is because he saw me sharing, you know, that made him think like, hey, I could do something like that. Like, you know, look how easy she makes it look. I could, you know, she's just in her house. She's just in her office. Like, I could do something like that. Well, James has already surpassed me in subscribers and view count. And his channel, what he does is he sits in front of the camera and he eats. He has a passion for food. He always has been a huge foodie. He's been a Yelp elite member for years and years. And he sits down and he has dinner with people and he talks about what he's eating, and it make the feeling that people get from watching his channel. It's so bizarre, but when you watch a video, you get it. The people feel like as if they're having dinner with him. It's like hanging out with a friend, eating with a friend. And there's no other YouTube course that would have taught him how to do that, because that is not a channel that would make money on paper, you know, but because it was like, I showed him, hey, like, what are you passionate about? If it's food, then go with it. Like, go with that. And you don't have to do it the traditional ways of like, you know, obviously if you did it this way, this is going to make you the most money and you're going to get the most sponsors or whatever. I was like, you know, just be as
you as you can be, because, you know, I'm your friend and I love you like this. So if you can convey that through the camera, that's what's going to hook people. And gosh, people sent him food from all over the world to try and eat on his channel. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. Awesome.
My 6-year-old grandson, you know what he wants to grow up to be?
A YouTuber.
A YouTube star.
Yeah.
So I got to get your course for him.
Yeah. And that's funny because I started out with a course. I've created a course before. I just didn't know how to market it and ran into a bunch of problems, but it was digital content creation for students. And it was completely catered to students. Like it's the same content that I teach in Zero to YouTube Hero, but the lingo is different. I kept saying things like, hey, go ask your teacher, go ask, you know, for a letter of recommendation. And now I think for Zero to YouTube Hero, what I'm going to do is create a second sales page specifically for students, because I can't tell you how many people have been like, well, my 11-year-old, my 5-year-old, da, da, da. And I believe that instead of discouraging them from being a YouTuber, rather to hone in on the skills that they're building in creating a YouTube channel. That's everything from self-awareness to personal branding, to understanding what it means to have an online presence, to figure out how to convey your passion through a medium. I mean, there's so many other things that they will learn, which they can apply to whatever job they end up getting. You know, I mean, like the chances of becoming a YouTube star, that's, you know, that's like, you're going to be a triple platinum singer, but I would never discourage someone who has that passion to continue and chase it.
Let me share that screen if I can find it here of your course as we talk about this, because I think there's more to it that I want to cover. Here's your Spark Media page, and down here is your course. And I thought this was really smart and clever how you laid these things out in a step-by-step fashion. And I answered some of my questions even just to take a look at this. But this is something as self-paced that people can go all the way through. It's very nice. And I believe that every entrepreneur, every business person, I've got clients that need to go through this. Well, we have one in the Entrepreneurs Club, you know, Misfits thing, meetup thing, definitely needs to know how to do all of this ultimately. And I just think this is so smart. And so not much rebranding has to be done, you know?
Yeah, I think, you know, I purposely did that because I think the people that are interested, who would be interested in taking this course, are very new to YouTube. Like I'm going for the complete newbies. Like I've never picked up a camera, you know, and I think that they would appreciate, what does this mean? Like I've never uploaded a video. What does that even mean? Like, what is that process? So I wanted to show them, like, you know, not only this is what you're getting for your money, but, you know, this is the journey that you're going to be going on.
Not to debate you, but I think that's wrong, because you have in here things even for seasoned people. Even if you know how to use a camera, do you know what a brand is? Developing your brand, your target audience. I mean, this is priceless stuff in here. And creating your strategy, how to tell your story. I mean, you can have a camera and you can blah 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 blah, and you can cut it up and put it up there. But this is the strategy behind everything. This is where the pedal, the rubber meets the road, so to speak, you know, and you don't see this in other places. I haven't seen it anyway.
Yeah.
You know, so it goes from newbie all the way to entrepreneurs and people that, a lot of people know how to put a camera, a chunk of video up on Facebook, but they don't know this stuff.
Yeah, I know. Going back to Tom, you know, he's been making videos since forever, like editing using 2 VCRs. And like I said, he's a digital media production teacher. I mean, that's what he teaches. But even he, you know, uploading and building an online audience and doing the whole YouTube thing is a completely different
It's
monster.
marketing. It's marketing that they do not have.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that starts to show a huge difference. And you're not talking about how to make $1,000 a minute either, you know. Now, I'm the first one to tell you can't feed yourself unless you're starting to think like that, you know, what it is, and, you know, who's going to send some money, some joy towards your direction. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's called Capitalism, not Communism. I know a lot in your generation have a hard time understanding the difference between capitalism, socialism, and communism, but I digress. Anything else, Frank, before we go on into your book?
Heather, awesome.
Yes, absolutely. Heather, do you have any questions or anything else you want to talk about?
No, this is fun. This is great.
Love the skateboard, by the way.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Heather, I've been to that Starbucks, and I can go there. There are no hills there. Is your skateboard self-propelled?
Oh yeah, it's electric.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were pushing with your right foot as you were. Okay.
Oh no, it's
the camera going up and down, did you, Frank? And
yeah, I'm saying, how did she do that? There's no hills there. Okay, so it's electric skateboard. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's one of my most viewed videos. I highly recommend. It's one I'm very, very proud of, but it's me actually unboxing that skateboard and trying it out for the first time. It was very scary because this thing can go 20 miles an hour.
I was going to say,
it's fast.
Pretty fast.
God, I hope it comes semi-charged. Just give me like 10% just to try it out. Today is a very special day because something is arriving that I have been very, very, very excited about for months. All right, estimated between 10:05 a.m. and 12:20 p.m. It is 11:37 a.m. The truck. Is that a truck? Damn it. That was just my neighbor.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, good, how are you?
Perfect.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks so much. So, first thoughts before even opening the box. It's heavy. Ooh, let's open it. See from this angle. So, this thing is pretty big. Here's my old skateboard. It's like, gosh, another third of it long. Oh. Yeah, it's heavy. Fresh grip tape. Feels amazing. This is the front because of this little orange logo here. Underneath. So I did get the dual. Not gonna lie, I got the dual for my future imaginary boyfriend who's supposed to write it with me. What's in here? A little box of stuff. Alright. Here's a remote. Got a quick start guide. And a charger. We've got USB cable, mini USB. That's to charge the remote. And we have a strap for the remote. Do not ride without reading this message. Braking downhill on a full battery will cause board shutdown. Hills and high speed can be very dangerous. Cars and other vehicles can kill you. Always wear a helmet. I need to go get a helmet, so I'm not gonna do anything crazy today. I just want to test it out. Move the throttle wheel in small increments. Keep a wide stance on the board. Keep a low center of gravity. Lean forward when accelerating. Lean backwards when braking. Lean forward when accelerating, of course. Okay. Alright, let's just see what it looks like without me on it. You have to hold this trigger thing, and then this is what makes it go backwards and forward. So let's see what it looks like. That's some serious business. I gotta take it slow. Here we go.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me. You can make me. Can make me.
Yeah, I need a helmet. I need a helmet. I'm like scared. This thing goes fast, man. I know I'm only on low mode. You're not gonna be able to hear me though, right? It's like loud in the wind. I don't have a microphone on this camera. This is the best thing ever though. I'm so happy right now. Pretty sure you can't hear me because it's too windy, but in case you can, just saying hi, what's up, wanted to see, thought about this, here's the card behind me.
Collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies,
Go time.
only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me.
Alright, I should probably be talking. I'll talk about how it feels. So,
feels fantastic. It's super smooth. It's really easy to ride. It's pretty much impossible to fall because it's such a long and heavy board. But yeah, this is the greatest thing ever. I've already had, I'm turning heads everywhere I go. So the main reason why I got this, honestly, is branding purposes. Just because, kind of like Casey, you know, when you see Casey on his boosted board, you know it's Casey. So for me, I want it to be the same thing, but here in Long Beach. Like when you see me on this boosted board, you know that that's Heather the vlogger from Long Beach. And now my arm hurts from holding this camera, so I'm just gonna enjoy my ride here. Try to get some time lapses. Here we go. So I might actually consider that either tomorrow or Monday. This feels amazing. I love it. Love it. Night ride.
What's the range on that?
It's about 7 miles.
Oh,
So
that's-
I can go from my house. I can go to Starbucks and back, but I usually take the charger with me and just charge wherever I get to.
Right. Yeah, interesting. Very cool.
Mm.
And so if you ever get a future a student, it's a William Benson, 6-year-old.
Got it.
He's going to be there somewhere. All right, let me see. Next up on our agenda here is that.
Hey, there's that sound. We love that sound. That sound says we got breaking news. Headlines. Today's breaking news is about a woman named Laura Behrens-Wu.
Mr. Producer, I'm supposed to wake up. Who is that?
I'm glad you asked. And why Laura Behrens-Wu makes millions and you don't? Well, let me tell you about Laura. Laura was born in 1992 in Germany. Her father was a diplomat. Therefore, he traveled a lot. And Laura grew up in Germany, China, Ecuador, and the United States. So she moved around a lot. And since Laura had a younger sister, she took it upon herself to assume a leadership role in the family as a good example for her younger sister. Well, Laura went to Harvard and graduated. Great example. And after graduating from Harvard, Laura didn't know what she wanted to do. But one thing she was sure about, she did not want to be an entrepreneur. Okay. So forward now to 2013, and Laura is now attending a master's program in Switzerland. And as she calls it, she is stuck there. What do you mean stuck? She did not enjoy being there at that school. She didn't like the master's program, but she didn't know what else to do. So then just by chance, Laura met a person at some event, I guess in Switzerland, from a Silicon Valley incubator. They sat down and she told him about her unhappiness at this master's program at this wonderful school in Switzerland. He listened. He says, hey, Laura, why don't you try something really new? She said, like what? He said, I'm from Silicon Valley Incubator. She says, how about if I try to find you a summer intern job at a startup in Silicon Valley? She says, oh, okay. What have I got to lose? Well, it wasn't too long after that conversation that Laura was offered a summer internship at a startup in Silicon Valley. Now, you could say that Laura was at the right place at the right time, and I know that's part of it, but here's the other part of that sentence. Laura did not shy away from taking that opportunity. Laura jumped at the chance. She says, yes. She thought anything's got to be better than this master's program I'm at in Switzerland. Plus, if she didn't like it, she always had the option to return to school back in Switzerland. So Laura moves to Silicon Valley from Switzerland, and she starts her technology career as a summer intern at Silicon Valley financial technology startup called LendUp, L-E-N-D-U-P, all one word. Laura got there, and she was immediately in awe of the fast-paced culture of working at a startup. She loved it. She loved it. She loved it so much that she says, I'm not going to leave. This is awesome. I don't want to go back to school. And she officially dropped out of the master's program. She says, hey, I'm out of here. Give my spot to someone else. Laura was now fully committed to what she was doing in Silicon Valley. And at LendUp, remember, she was just a summer intern. Laura took every opportunity available to her to do extra work. And she worked hard to make the most of each opportunity. She was obsessed with this LendUp. Then the inevitable happened. Laura became so fascinated with LendUp, this startup, that she says, you know what? I want to start my own startup. Remember, she didn't want to be an entrepreneur? Now she can't wait to be an entrepreneur. So Laura had a best friend named Simon, and they got together, and Laura says, hey, I got some ideas. Here's what I want to do. Here's what I learned so forth. What do you think we should do? They got their heads together and says, you know what? Let's open up our own e-commerce store on something called Shopify. She says this is going to be a marketplace for emerging designers and artists from around the world, but Laura and Simon would help them tell their stories.
Kind of like Heather.
There you go. But before Laura would open up her e-commerce store, she became good friends with the CEO of LendUp. And she approached him and with her startup idea and asked for his advice. He listened intently, then said the three words that every entrepreneur should adhere to. And here's what he said, Laura, whatever business you want to start, you make sure that you offer painkillers, not vitamins. In other words, those were the three words, by the way, painkillers, not vitamins. In other words, offer something that people can't live without, like a painkiller. Don't offer something that is a nice to have, but not a must have, like a vitamin. Laura thanked him for his advice profusely, and then she ignored his advice. Now, Laura knew that her e-commerce store was not something new. It was not innovative, and it had been done many times before. But Laura and Simon wanted to start working on something. So while she was still an intern, 21-year-old Laura started her side hustle, the e-commerce store, offering vitamins, not painkillers, because she thought it would be easy. She said, it's a no-brainer. But it was while working on her e-commerce store that Laura discovered her painkiller. Let me explain. Her e-commerce store was doing pretty good. She had orders coming in every day, daily orders, which meant that Laura had to make daily trips to the post office to ship the orders. And that is when Laura discovered that shipping her orders was very confusing and expensive. both in terms of time and cost. She says, you know what? For e-commerce stores like mine, of which there are many, because it's Shopify, right? Shipping really sucks. Laura saw this as her painkiller business opportunity. After discussing her revelation with her partner Simon, they closed their e-commerce store and started a new company called Shippo, Hippo with an S in the beginning, Shippo. Shippo is a technology company. Shippo is an API that connects customers, e-commerce stores like hers, marketplaces, and platforms to the network of all the different shipping providers. But for users of this API, it gives them access to all the shipping providers. It helps them optimize their shipping providers, which ones they want to use, and helps them get shipping labels and also track the orders. In other words, Shippo takes the pain out of shipping, thus the painkiller. Great, Laura, but there's one big problem. You need money to do this. Big problem. Laura and Simon were first-time founders. They had no track record of successfully running any kind of a business. She was 21, and he was about the same age. They had no experience raising money from venture capitalists. But you know what they had? They had a pain-killing idea. And since neither Laura or Simon had any savings, they had to go to investors to put money into Shippo, or they would give up their pain-killing idea. Laura wasn't about ready to quit. So Laura pitched Shippo to 125 investors. 125. Laura was rejected 115 times, which means that Laura was able to raise $2 million from 10 investors with no track record. Pretty impressive. She was obsessed. She was committed. She believed. She was proud. All those things that we talked about in our Thursday morning meetings. Shortly after starting Shippo, they were growing at a 40% week-over-week rate. Shippo was a winner. You know what happens when you're a winner? VCs contact you and say, hey, Shippo, can we give you some money? So Laura was able to raise another $7 million from other VCs. Now the Shippo, I call it the Shippo platform, does much more than just shipping, because there are many that do that. Shippo helps her clients become shipping experts. It allows them to turn their shipping department from a cost center to a competitive advantage. As she said in a recent video, shopping carts are abandoned many, many times because of the shipping cost and/or time. She took care of that. And their clients be able to become shipping experts without investing a lot of time because Shippo did all the work for them. Today, 4 years after founding Shippo, 4.5 years, Shippo now has 75 employees, serving over 15,000 clients, shipping millions of packages to and from 196 countries. Shippo gets fee for every time an item is shipped. She has raised over $30 million, and her revenues are increasing 70% year over year. Not bad for someone who left graduate school in Switzerland to take a summer intern job at a startup in Silicon Valley.
And never wanted to be an entrepreneur.
And never wanted to be that was the last thing. Her dad was a diplomat, business people, those capitalists. Plus he was from Germany. Well, he was located in Germany when she was born. So look at that. I came up with 4 small business lessons from Laura Behrens-Wu. And these are in Laura's own words. Number 1, she says, the most important decision for every wannabe entrepreneur is to just get started. Start your startup. Heather You did that.
I'm pointing to Heather.
You did that, Heather. Congratulations. She says, there's no need to overthink. She says, you don't need a grand idea. Just start working on something and eventually you'll find the right problem to solve, which was shipping. Lesson number 2. After you start your startup, one of the most important traits for any founder is determination. She said, from the outside, startups look like overnight success and that everybody is crushing it. That is far from the truth. You know what startup success is? These are her words. It's a roller coaster with exhilarating ups and terrifying downs, and the ride never stops. I love that analogy. She says there's no magic formula for successful entrepreneurship, and there's no such thing as overnight success. It takes a lot of hard work. It means being persistent and standing up again after you fall. She says, and now she said, I warn you about startups. They move fast and change happens quickly. You better acquire the ability to learn fast and keep up with the changes. Lesson number 3 from Laura Burns-Wu. She says, be authentic. Be proud of who you have become. She says, be unapologetic about who you are. I'm looking at you again, kid. Okay? There's so many expectations of what a perfect founder should look like. And Laura wanted to be Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg. And she admits that, which was ridiculous, as she says, because I'm Laura. So I became proud of just being Laura. And I love this second. She says, you know what being unapologetic means? That you don't have to work with everyone. She says, it is better to have a hole in your company than an a-hole in your company. I love that line. She says, it's your startup, it's your culture, it's your business. You decide who you choose to work with you. And lesson number 4, and you're going to get sick of hearing this, Heather. Painkillers, not vitamins. She says, solve a real problem. Don't just offer something that is nice to have. People chase painkillers. People are chased by vitamins. You want people to call you. And that's why Laura Burns-Wu makes millions and you don't. That's it.
Well, kind of an apropos story, huh, Heather?
Yes, yeah. And I completed this last week. I didn't know Heather was going to be on, but I'm glad you were on.
Well, last week we had the same topic. My topic.
It was Kimball Musk. I talked about
I didn't know that was going to happen, and he didn't know that was going to happen. So here you go. All right. Any questions with that?
No, but those are all some very great takeaways. I took a lot of notes. And,
well, actually, you might not have to with this new format. I can just lay them out along the side.
That's great.
Pretty nice. Let's see. So let's talk. I forgot to say one thing. I got an email from a female client, customer, defenders, and she said, 1 defender, 3 attackers, and they were a mess. She got attacked when she was running, and she just did them a job, and they didn't learn the first time. They kept coming back until they couldn't come back anymore. And she goes, I didn't kill anybody. They just got so hurt. They picked the wrong runner. Let me tell you. There you go. So a good, interesting success story I like to share, stuff like that. Okay, so Frank, let's just spend a little C-block time on the misfits today that I missed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had our meeting. We had our core group, which is awesome. The 7 plus myself, 6 plus myself today, and we opened up with. I opened up with. There was an article written in Entrepreneur Magazine, 15 signs you're ready to be an entrepreneur. And that was written in 2014, and I modified it to 15 signs that you're ready to start a side hustle, which by the way, we used to call part-time jobs, and I'll call side hustles, or start your own company. And we went through those, and then we talked about painkillers versus not vitamins. Solve a problem. Don't be, oh, by the way, we also offer purple. Nobody offers purples. Who the hell cares? Okay? Make me desire, make me need your stuff, not make me like to have your stuff. Big difference. Big difference. So that was it.
Well, the update on my agricultural effort here, I built, and I'll have a bigger picture. Actually, I'll have a bigger picture for everybody to see, but there's a white light on the top there, and the colored lights look like purple haze. Everybody tells me purple haze. That white light, I built that yesterday, and it was, well, actually day before, $25 to build that high intensity LED light for those that grow longer. Man, the house was like lit up all night. I said, oh, I can't have that. So I did an early American shade from a Amazon shipping box. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah. But,
MacGyver.
MacGyver.
yeah, exactly. And it's just absolutely crazy what's been going on lately with all of that, plant tissue cultures. And I started new microgreens. Those are sunflower seeds I bought at Winco. So I'm microgreening those guys. That's a kind of standard way. This is not a standard way. Those are flax seeds. And I converted a organic the spinach box into this automatic feeding system. I don't have to spray it or anything. Stick them on there and they grow. You know, that's the engineer in me, the geek. Mung beans from Winco. And the last 2 days on sprouting, which is a whole nother part of hydroponics, as well as sprouting actually. So yesterday I'm eating about half of my meal now is what I grow.
Oh my gosh, how cool.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
You know? So I'm in another I think in another 5 weeks I'll be totally self-sufficient if all I want to eat is vegetables, you know,
Oh,
and lettuce
cool.
year round. It's kind of cool. But there
Wow.
we go. Oh, and I also wanted to tell you, and I'll have a link in the show notes. I found I've been really looking at this automated farm equipment, robotic farm equipment, and how it's going to change. There's a place in Kyoto, Japan. It's completely run by robots, and they harvest 30,000 heads of lettuce a day,
Cool.
and not a human touches it.
Wow.
You've got to feed all these people. I even saw a system that bolts on the side of a skyscraper, and it raises the vegetables, and automatic arms are bolted on, and they'll deliver your fresh vegetables to your window.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? So going down this line of automation and entrepreneurialism and where it's going to go, because it's like in its infancy. It's in the wild, wild west days. I found a video in Israel. And there's a company, I believe it's a Dutch company, they make a totally automated cow farm, milking farm. And this guy bought the whole system in Minnesota or Wisconsin somewhere. The machines come out, they feed the cows. The cows are all right there. The cows love the machines because they see the machines go down to feed them. Then a machine goes back, and then when the cows eat a pile, it scoots it out and they can't get it. It goes back and scoots it back up for them to eat. And then another robot herds the particular one into the milking thing. A robot attaches. It has a RFID collar on so we can track everything, and it quantifies the milk, quality of the milk, what it's lacking, if it's sick. I mean, it's just crazy where these things are going. And now they have an automatic strawberry picking machine that only picks the ripe strawberries, and it goes down and picks these things, and then goes back and waits the next day and goes down and picks the. And it's just, oh my gosh, where all that's going is just crazy, but kind of fun. I'll have a link to that.
That's
so
cool.
There you go. All right, anybody got anything else? All right, say goodnight, Frank.
Good night, Frank.
Say goodnight, Heather.
Good night.
All right, hang on.